If you want the convenience of living close to Raleigh, but you really are tired of so many crowds and so many people around, you might want to live in one of our really nice small towns. And today I'm going to take you to see some of the best small towns outside of Raleigh. We are actually going to look at 3 different towns today. All of them are over on the northeast side of Raleigh, so that's where we're headed. I tried to focus on towns that had different price points, and all of these towns had a lot more properties with at least an acre of land than the surrounding towns. So maybe 20% of homes that were on the market in most of these towns had an acre or more of land. So that's why we're headed to these towns in particular, and because they're actually really cute.
We're living the idyllic country life right now.
Yeah, this is so pretty. We're actually just a few minutes outside of Franklinton now, and this little area is kind of like horse country. It's really pretty. Great place to ride a motorcycle, or if you don't have one or your wife won't let you ride one, to ride in a convertible. So the first town that we're actually going to is Franklinton. Franklinton's got about 2,500 people. You could probably meet everybody in Franklinton if you set your mind to it. It's really small, but it actually has a lot going on downtown, surprisingly. There's a bunch of different little bars and little restaurants and kind of gathering spaces. I always look for those when I'm showing somebody a small town, because that really tells you if people are friendly, if you're going to be able to get to know people and make friends, which can be harder in a small town. You're not going to have all of your, big things like you have in the city, but usually there'll be like a couple of places that people really like to hang out in the particular town, and there's definitely a few of those in Franklinton. Go in 3 or 4 times and everybody will know you.
Did you not smell that skunk back there?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I was trying to be polite. And there's also lots of different housing options. Like, there are some properties that you'll find, a lot of like subdivisions that have larger lots. And then you can also occasionally find properties that are on unrestricted land. So you can have like horses, or if it was me, I'd have goats and ducks, because that's my dream, and one of these days I'm going to do it. So Franklinton's about 30 minutes from the Whole Foods in Raleigh. You do have, like all of these small towns will generally have a Food Lion grocery store, but if you like more upscale shopping or more like organic options, you're about 30 minutes from a Whole Foods. You're about 15 minutes from Wegmans in Wake Forest. So Wake Forest is like 15 minutes, which is, Wake Forest honestly has just about everything that you would need. You probably will find yourself almost never going into Raleigh, because you've got like a Wegmans in Wake Forest, you've got a Lidl in Wake Forest, you've got all kinds of little shops, and you got your Super Target in Wake Forest. Pretty much everything that you would need would be in Wake Forest. Why is my throat feeling raw?
Because we just drove through skunk.
Is that why?
I don't know. We're going to drive through Maple Ridge.
And how big are these lots?
They don't look a whole lot bigger than what we're seeing closer in.
They really don't. So it is easier to find properties with larger lots around here, but there's definitely neighborhoods that are putting them close together, even though we're out in the country.
So you said about 25% of houses up here in Franklinton on the market had
At
over
least
an acre.
20%.
20%.
Yeah. Whereas if you look like in Fuquay, it's like 0%. And then Cary, it's like 3%. But in Cary, you've got a lot of older homes that are on larger lots, or luxury homes. You'll find like luxury homes that have larger lots. There is a little bit of the luxury market out here, and it's cheaper. You get it at a lower cost than you get like closer to the city. But not a ton. I would say a lot of like mid-range kind of housing on nice sized lots out here.
All right, downtown?
Yep, let's go downtown. So the median home price for a house in Franklinton on an acre or more is $420,000. So if you take out that criteria of having it on an acre, the median price is $409,000. So it's a little bit more expensive to get a house on land, but not that much more.
We have to drive through the skunk again.
There's a decent amount of social activity in Franklinton. There's a really cool micro park downtown. It looks like
it's an old gas station.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like an old gas station.
It is an old gas station.
And they have like, oh boy, I smell the skunk now. Anyway, so there's this little micro park in downtown Franklinton, and they like to have all of their like outdoor concerts and events and stuff. It's really small. Like if you look at the pictures, you can see people are like on the sidewalk and practically in the road because there's not much room in the little micro park, but it's there. And there's also like some breweries and other places where you can hang out. Owl's Roost Brewery has live music and lots of hangout space there. There's also a tavern, a speakeasy, a cigar bar and lounge, and a wine bar. So this wine bar has a vending machine in it, which I find hilarious. Automation is the new normal. Lots of little new construction spots going up in here, walkable to downtown. So if you like if you don't necessarily want land, but you want to be in a close-knit small town where everybody knows each other, there's great opportunities for that here as well. Yeah, everybody wants to be walkable. That is the thing that I hear from people just across the board. Almost every person I talk to says they want to be walkable to something these days. And it's hard to find, but I think developers and builders and city planning departments are really trying to make that happen. You know, in the kind of post-World War II era, everything went to suburbs and, you know, the walkability of towns and cities went away, but we've realized that that's a mistake. A lot of people want that walkability. Super cute. Main Street Design Builders, Franco's.
You know, it's clearly something that's being rehabbed.
Yeah, they are putting some love into this right now. You got a young couple over there with a baby looking at an empty. I bet they're looking to start a business there. I could just tell. Tacos and tequila, Owl Roost, all kinds of great. This is not a dead downtown. This is an active, vibrant, people are doing stuff here downtown.
I think if you were to look at it on Google Maps, Street View, you would get a very different impression than you get driving through. Driving through, you see that, yes, there are some gutted buildings, but you see that they're being gutted and redone.
But look at all these houses. This is these are beautiful. If you want like a historic home that you can renovate and have like an incredible house, there's options here. I don't see anything on the market, but like this would be a place that you can find something like that. And there's sidewalks, so this is all walkable into town. Super cute. Somebody rehabbed that one. That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Lots of rehabbing going on. I like to see that. People friendly, on bikes.
An old antique store.
I don't think they're rehabbing that one, honey. Someone's gonna come tear that baby down. All right, let's go into downtown, get out, walk around a little bit. We're gonna go into some of these little shops, restaurants, see if we can get anybody to talk to us. Okay, so this is the little micro park I was talking about. It's just a little downtown park. Used to be a gas station. They have lots of little events, concerts. Oh, here's the wine bar. Closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. 4 to 9 every other day though, so yeah.
Well, I'm from Youngsville, live in Youngsville, but I came downtown Franklinton looking for a storefront location and saw the opportunity of how it was going to be growing. And so we opened 2 years ago this October. So when I opened, I think there were like 3 businesses down here, and I mean there's 3 or 4 new restaurants, 2 boutiques, a couple little places to go hang out with friends. You know.
Yeah, you can tell it's really growing.
Yeah. We live on a street in Youngsville, right out of the heart of downtown, but our property is 3 acres. And then all of our 15 neighbors on our street all have between 3 and 10 acres.
Wow.
So we kind of found a gym where we live. We love it.
That's
Kids
awesome.
ride 4-wheelers.
She just told us that on Monday everybody's closed. So I think there might be 1 or 2 places open, but we're gonna see, but probably not much. It's all good as long as you got a good boutique in town. Okay, so what was it like growing up in Franklinton?
So growing up in Franklinton, I have to say, it's a very quiet town. A lot of people know a lot of people. Franklinton, the town here, has come a long way. It used to be almost nothing. It was definitely not this popular 5 years ago. People come from all the way out in Raleigh to come visit like these little stores, and it's kind of just amazing to see that it's picking up some, you know?
Yeah. Next on the list is Youngsville. Youngsville actually is a little bit smaller than Franklinton, but it's a little bit closer to Raleigh. So it's like 5 miles closer towards Raleigh. But it's 2,100 people. Comparatively speaking, it's much easier to find properties with larger lots in Youngsville than other parts of the triangle. just so darn pretty to drive around here. So there's some really cool spots in downtown Youngsville. You've got North Cross Street Station for locally sourced seafood. You've got Yacht Club Beverage, which is a really popular spot, and also the Home Slice Tavern. And Burnt Barrel is a really good place as well. You know, you want places to hang out, but when they like put extra effort into having hangout spots, not just like tables, but like open space outside that's, you know, that is kind of conducive to people like talking to each other rather than just sitting with just the couple people you came with, you know, and entertainment and music and stuff like that. When you see that they put the effort into those kinds of things, you know it's going to be a much more friendly town. If you're looking for land because you want animals, there are things that you need to be careful of. Anything with an HOA is probably not going to work, although I was just looking at some property the other day where the HOA covenants actually were written that you were allowed to have up to 10 chickens. Usually HOAs don't allow you to, but there are some that do. The easiest thing is to find something that's not in a subdivision and doesn't have restrictive covenants. And if it doesn't have restrictive covenants, then you can have any kind of animals that you want. The other thing you have to be careful of is any kind of zoning laws that might supersede covenants. So if you're in what's called the ETJ, which is stands for extraterritorial jurisdiction, that means that city ordinances for what you're allowed to do on your property will overlay onto your land anywhere within that ETJ, and it can be anywhere from 1 mile to 5 miles outside of the city limits. So that means that like if the town of Franklinton or of Youngsville has a no chickens ordinance and you're within the ETJ, then you're not going to be able to have chickens or other livestock either. It's probably not the case out here. If you want to know, ask me, I can look it up for you. But they're those different things that you need to be conscientious of if you do want some kind of livestock. But a lot of these properties are going to just be like neighborhoods with larger lots, not necessarily mini farms. Like this is a mini farm right here. How cute is that?
Lovely.
Super cute. But it is possible to find unrestricted properties. It's not as common, but it is possible. They're not necessarily just sitting on the market waiting for you. When they come on, you want to kind of get on them quickly because it's, you know, popular. People like little mini farms. But even if you're in a neighborhood, it can just feel so much more relaxed out here in the country as opposed to being in the city where everything's so loud. So our daughter actually lives in Zebulon with her husband and her children, and they live in one of these little subdivisions that's, you know, 10 minutes outside of town. But they have like a half-acre lot, and whenever we go out to her house, we're like, we can hear, you know, there's no like road noise, there's no airplanes, there's no, it's quiet. You can hear the birds and, you know, grasshoppers, and it's so peaceful.
There are very few cars on the road. I mean, if we were on the other side of town, even at this time of day on a Monday morning, there would be
traffic.
A lot of cars on the road, and there just really aren't.
Yeah.
Youngsville Academy.
So that looks like a new charter school to me.
It is still a little shocking to see townhome communities popping up
in the country.
Out in the country.
Yeah, it is to me too. So if you all like this video that we're doing right now, go ahead and leave us a comment, because when you leave a comment, that tells the YouTube algorithm that people like this video, so they'll show it to more people. And if they show it to more people, then I'll be able to do another video like this for another part of town. But if I don't get a lot of comments and YouTube doesn't show it to a lot of people, what that means is I'm not going to do another one, because if nobody sees it, why bother doing it? It's a lot of work to get out here and do this. So leave me a comment. And while you're at it, if you are thinking of moving to the area, or you've moved here and you need more information about stuff, I have got one of the best real estate websites. I have got one of the best Raleigh real estate websites in the area. I've looked at lots of other people's websites. Believe me, mine is really, really good. It's got so much more information and videos and blog posts and so much stuff on there. Lots of interesting searches. So there's a link to that in the comments. There's also a link to sign up for my newsletter, which is a really great newsletter. You'll learn a lot about the area. You'll learn a lot about the housing market here. So links in the comments for both of those things.
All right, we just entered Youngsville officially.
Oh, look at those cool old cars.
Yeah.
I wonder where they're going. Oh, hold your horses there, fella. Flow Homes Design Studio.
The
Tin Pig.
Tin
They
Pig.
have a lot of different antique stores in Youngsville. I like to see lots of unique little places. One thing I love about Zebulon is that little bagpipe place. Now, I don't need bagpipes for anything, but just knowing
But
it's there
you
makes me
love
feel
the fact
good.
that there's
Yeah.
a bagpipe manufacturer in your downtown.
Yes. I couldn't see what that was because your big old arm was in front of me.
Well, I couldn't see what it was because the big old sun made me put my big old arm in front of me.
So Youngsville's a lot smaller than Franklinton. So here's the Burnt Barrel. Tobacco and vape. You want to go get yourself some tobacco?
No, quite sure.
They don't sell his kind of fancy tobacco here.
I'm sure whatever they have in there is not what I'm looking for.
All right, well, I didn't see anything worth stopping for. How about you?
All right, let's pop into a subdivision here.
Doesn't look like very big lots there, though.
What always strikes me is that you go through an old downtown that feels like old North Carolina, and then 2 minutes later you're driving through a brand new subdivision that
Feels
would
like,
make you think that you're somewhere else entirely.
Yeah. Downtown Youngsville is only about 5 minutes from downtown Wake Forest, which means it's really convenient to a lot of stuff. Not a ton of shopping in Youngsville, but being just 5 minutes from Wake Forest, you've got your Target, your big box stores, your TJ Maxx, your Home Depot, which is right across the street from Tracy's Boots and Buckles, if you happen to need any boots and buckles, which you may if you know.
I need some boots.
If you get a farm or something.
I don't know if I need a buckle, but I need
Depending
some
on how
boots.
much land you're getting. I think this is actually Tracy here in the picture. I don't know. She looks like a Tracy. What do you think? So prices are higher in Youngsville because it's right next to Wake Forest. You know, Wake Forest has home prices that are pretty comparable to Cary. For the median priced home for properties with over an acre, it's about $675,000, which is pretty high. Obviously much more expensive than in Franklinton. But housing in general isn't more expensive. If you're just looking at all housing, the median price is about $475,000. So land is pretty highly valued around here, and especially like in Raleigh, like people want properties on land. It's a big deal. If you want to go cheaper, I found this really pretty home on 2 acres for $559,000. It's a little bit older. It's built in 2003. It's had some updates, and it's really light and bright with lots of windows. But if you're looking for something more estate-like, there's this gorgeous home with lake views in Hidden Lake for $1.8 million. And I also found, so we were talking earlier about like little mini farms where you can actually have animals, and there's one right now on the market. This home sits on 7 acres with a pond. You could have ducks and goats on this property, which would be super cool. You would love ducks and goats. At least I would. We're gonna go check out one of these antique shops in downtown Youngsville. Antiques, vintage decor, furniture, and collectibles. No antique store will ever hold a candle to that place in Sanford. That place in Sanford is like,
antique store.
that is the best antique store ever.
We'll have to take everybody there.
Yeah, we'll have to go there. That place is awesome. Okay. On to Zebulon. So this neighborhood is one of these neighborhoods that you might see where the lots are really nice size, and this is what you see a lot of, these kind of really nice kind of mid-tier, this is mid to upper tier priced homes. This is Brookshire neighborhood. And this is really pretty. I like the way they've planned the trees, because when these trees go up, this neighborhood's gonna be really beautiful. But look at the size of these yards. Just so much room, so much room. Let's move to Youngsville, honey. That's what stinks about being a realtor is every neighborhood's a nice neighborhood. You always wanna move. Oh yeah, look at that. See, and some raised bed gardens.
And a pool.
And a pool, look at that. Yeah, that house is probably over $1 million with all that. Even out here in Youngsville, it's probably over $1 million. Zebulon is it's just east of Raleigh, whereas Youngsville and Franklinton are kind of north of Raleigh, on the east side, but like northeast. you're about the same distance to like Whole Foods in downtown Raleigh, but your shopping's going to be more in Knightdale instead of Wake Forest. So in Knightdale, you've got all your big box stores. You've got your Target, your Michaels, your Kirkland's, your Ross, you know, all those stores that you tend to see together. The median price for Zebulon homes with a minimum of an acre is $469,000. So a little bit more affordable than Youngsville, but I'll also say it's probably a little bit less convenient to things than Youngsville is. I think there's more in Wake Forest than there is in, well, that's probably not true. That's not accurate. They're I would say Knightdale and Wake Forest are probably comparable for like the number of shops and things that are in there.
Sure. Wake Forest beats Knightdale on the kind of quaint, small downtown charm.
I would say that too, yeah. And so here is actually a really cute little home on 2.6 acres for $529,000 in Pilots Ridge subdivision. Downtown Zebulon's got really cute shops, and it's kind of like Franklinton as well in that it's really grown over the last year or two. Lots of new shops coming in, lots of new restaurants coming in. Seems to always be something new showing up every time we're here. For your like hangout spots, you've got Norse Brewing and the Fall Line are both really popular. There's a little bagpipe place. How cute is that? It's just so cute.
Old Raleigh Distillery.
And a little Mexican spot. The pizza place is supposed to be really good. We're gluten-free, so we haven't eaten there, but our kids eat there all the time and like it. There's also a really cute little boutique that I've gotten stuff at before, super cute.
Pinafore.
Yeah, Pinafore Boutique, super cute. They're closed right now too on a Monday.
Looks like most people are closed on Monday.
Most people are going to be closed on Monday. Franklinton seemed to have the most open, but that little boutique is, oh, that's a new boutique. That just opened.
Yeah.
So cute.
Mintage.
We'll have to go in there. See, every time we come down here, something new is open. All right, that's a wrap. YouTube thinks that you're going to like this one. Let's click it to see if they're right. And don't forget to leave me a comment and a like.